Here with Greg and Laura, and
Hello.
going through their transition bags.
All right, well,
All
some races we go to together that we can actually share our stuff. So
Yes.
obviously helmet,
Yeah.
this is a time trial race, World Cup,
Yeah.
depending on
Cooler,
which race we're doing.
warmer.
Yeah. What I often do with this is, because I'm not first out of the water like sometimes I'll put a little bit of electrical tape on the top of the helmet, and fold it in half and stick it on the frame so it's just lightly stuck, so when the transition racks are bumped or whatever, my helmet doesn't go flying, so I can still have a quick transition, so it sits on top of the handlebars like that with a little bit of tape on the bottom of it. Just enough to hold it, and then I can rip it off during the race, but keeps my helmet from bouncing everywhere.
Something I wouldn't have thought was necessary until last week when we were in Alcatraz, and I was on the men's rack for some reason, and I came in after the swim and everything was everywhere.
Yeah, I know.
Helmet over here, glasses over here. So I think if I ever race with the men again, I think I'd do the same.
Swim cap and goggles. If it's obviously a cold race, I'll wear a silicone cap under that race cap that they'll give you. Goggles, I always tend to remember about 30 seconds before start that I've got to tighten my goggles up for race tightness, and so that's one that I've got to get better at reminding myself to tighten the goggles before I get to the race. And maybe a good time to do that is to swim the day before the race and remind yourself to put your goggles nice and tight.
You can also wear the Swedes where you have a little bead at the bottom, so you can just slide it right on.
Yeah, but they poke your eyes out if
Yeah.
you wear those. If you're in the masses like me, you do not wear Swedes.
Yeah.
You want to keep your eyes.
If you're in a men's race where it's boxing more than swimming,
Yeah.
I would not recommend these.
Yeah.
But the women, if you can get away, those are good.
I bring a TP massage ball quite often. If I'm feeling like in warm-up there's a little tweak, the hips are out or something, I might just do a little tweak with this and just push it into the top of the glutes or the hamstring, or just a handy little thing just to get into the spots that may feel a little tight when you wake up in the morning or whatever.
Bring out the sunnies.
Sunnies. I'm with Bolle, she's with Oakley. But
Usually,
you tape yours on, or where do you put yours?
Tape them onto the handlebars. So basically all you have to do is get your helmet on right when you come out of the water. For the World Cup racing, there's always time to be saved anytime you're in transition, so just throwing the helmet on and putting the glasses on as you're riding out.
Yeah,
it's pretty handy.
I've even had the glasses hanging on the front with a bit of electrical tape around for about 10k on the bike until I'm comfortable on the bike. I'm in a good rhythm. In a non-drafting race, I'm in a good rhythm, or in a drafting race, I've managed to catch the lead pack. Until then, feet in the shoes and everything can wait until I'm up at pace or into a lead group. So tape them on the bike. Electrical tape. Always bring a decent size pen knife. I find things, scissors, whether it's to get your numbers sorted out before the start or just cut the electrical tape. It's amazing how often I'll use this, or even just adjusting the cables on the brakes. There's always little emergencies, just so it's got little pliers on it. Handy just to have the knife. It really is. I keep it there all the time. Actually, I forgot to take it out on the weekend when I was travelling home, and the airport almost tried to take it. Stopwatch, definitely for warm-up, so I can have a really good idea. If I'm planning, 20 minutes of running, 10 minutes of biking, and 5 minutes of swimming, I need to know the countdown really well till race start. So I like to wear a watch the whole time and make sure I know what I'm doing.
Race belt. So handy nowadays, all the new little inventions. Now you can just clip it on as opposed to safety pinning them, keeping it on till they rust.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of handy.
Set of Allen keys. I've had, generally we travel a lot to races, and you may warm up on the bike once the day before the race, and then all of a sudden in transition, just after your warm up, you realise, my seat's, fallen down a little bit, the mechanic's not around. Or your handlebars, quite often the aero bar, one of them suddenly slips, whoa, okay, so really handy just to have your Allen keys with you. Then I'll have generally 2 water bottles on the bike, and depending on the race, the calories that I'll have in it. And then I'll always have another water bottle just for warm-up, so I don't have to touch the 2 that I'm going to be racing with, and this one I can just carry around in running, biking, and swimming to warm up and leave behind.
I've got running shoes, which I now keep in the main pocket as opposed to the back pocket that my backpack has, as I have left them in there before and come off the bike realizing as you go imagery through getting into transition that the running shoes you don't remember putting them out. So those now stay in the main pocket. And
with the elastic laces.
With the elastic laces, yep. So you can get them on very easily. Usually put a little bit of Faso in there just to hope that you don't get blisters. But
these generally I'll ride
yep.
to the race. These are the Rocket 7 custom made ones, which are, for me, I've got really wide feet, so they're actually perfect. And I tape up the ends or put a little ring in so when I'm jumping onto the bike in a quick transition, the strap can't come through. So I never have to rethread the strap. So they're just some little tricks of the trade.
And some rubber bands or elastics for putting them on the back of the shoe so they stay in place. So when you run and jump on the bike, they're ready to go.
My running shoes, elastic laces as well. And generally what I'll do is I won't warm up in these. I'll make sure I'll put them on, try them out, but then just put them in transition, set to go, with the tongues out, ready for a quick transition. But generally I'll just warm up in, some normal trainers and just to keep these only for racing, and make sure training in the warm-up you're not pulling anything, you've got some more sturdy shoes on. And then obviously your race kit. Yep. This is one of my two-piece race outfits, which I'd probably only use for a wetsuit swim. I think the one-piece outfits are a little bit quicker, especially this Kiwami model, which is really quick in the water. That's my number belt. It would have a number on it. And then always I bring a spare bar or whatever to eat after the race as well. So, and then we always travel with a backpack because you never know how far your hotel is going to be from the race. So it's pointless just bringing a shoulder bag. And so these bags from New Balance are just the right size.
And my wetsuit.
A lot of our races aren't wetsuits these days in World Cups. There tend to be very few races. More in the US, Alcatraz on the weekend. And to be honest, we're with Aquaman, but I'd be with Aquaman whether they were sponsoring us or not. I was with Simon Whitfield in Canada and we tried out many wetsuits. And it wasn't until we were about to buy one that Aquaman said, hey, we'll sponsor you. So it was like,
great.
Fine. So highly recommend the Aquaman wetsuit.
Yep.
Very easy to swim in.